into strategies, campaigns, research studies. We even did our own research and interviewed over 30 stakeholder representatives of Brampton's business leadership. If you weren't interviewed, our apologies. We just needed to keep the project on a very disciplined timeline. But we got a lot of feedback, we got a lot of input, and we examined a lot of strategies that the city had employed in the past. A gap analysis of our findings led us to some simple, powerful notions. Brampton's positive realities had to outstrip negative perceptions. We needed to create a positive brand mythology, if you will, a legend of Brampton that replaced fuzzy or functional stories. And rather than leveraging the typical assets that most cities do, we needed to distinguish ourselves by leveraging our best assets better. We followed a rigorous four-stage process. First, we established a brand foundation. Then we defined our objective. And then identified the best approach to take before we began designing the new brand. New York has the buzz of Times Square and the bell of Wall Street. Even Bilbao, a once fading seaport, anchored its urban revitalization on its symbolic new landmark, the Guggenheim Museum. But what is our Guggenheim? One thread, one theme kept percolating to the top throughout our discovery phase. Everyone we met was fed up of apologizing for perceptions of Brampton. In our research, we discovered that Bramptonian spirit was strong and proud. Bramptonians were energized, determined. They were doing things, succeeding, believing. They were bullish on Brampton. What was best in Brampton? They were. Bilbao has its Guggenheim. Our Guggenheim is us. Bilbao has its Guggenheim, but our Guggenheim is us. This anthemic idea became the foundation for our new strategy. And that's why that bell went off. We agreed on a single focused strategic marketing objective: to rebrand and reposition Brampton's economic development brand as a forward-thinking, creative, dynamic catalyst for business success. We chose a single objective approach. We chose a single objective approach for clarity and focus, because we know that multiple objectives often produce unclear strategies, and that is the enemy of success. A strong foundation, who we are, and a clear objective, what we must achieve, gave us the springboard to decide that we needed to decide how we would get there. And this is how we will create the legend that will be Brampton's economic brand, by unleashing our best but untapped asset, the raw energy of our human potential. Our strategic approach leverages better what is best in Brampton. It recognizes our competitiveness, our innovation, our culture of entrepreneurship. It celebrates the environment of creativity, ingenuity, and vision that Brampton offers. All brands must identify themselves. They must say, this is who I am. Good brands differentiate themselves. They say, this is why you should remember me. And great brands are rich with meaning. They say, this is why you should like me. We took a long, hard look at the competitive landscape. Hundreds of economic development brands for cities, counties, provinces, states, territories, territories and countries. We looked at brands for incubators and trade authorities, trade zones and regions, boards of trade and chambers of commerce, development authorities, international investment initiatives. We looked at city brands, master brands. We looked at the brands of our neighbors, friends, and rivals. We looked at taglines and word marks and slogans. But we returned to our strategy, which is to unleash Brampton's best but underutilized asset, the power of its human potential. From that, and from the marketing objective, three critical pathways emerged. The vitality of our raw human energy, the notion of sparking and catalyzing growth, and a sense of boundless opportunity. Now, the second and third are relatively typical claims for many city economic development brands. But when we combine them with the first pathway, raw human energy, we found ourselves in a space that was charged with possibilities, a space that is uniquely Brampton. Some 70-plus brand iterations later, we arrived at the design we are about to present to you today. From the earliest stages, we saw Brampton's proud spirit. But we also saw that Brampton economic development needed a torch, a flag, a rallying cry. We saw that we needed to free ourselves of the burdens of the past, of the negative. We needed to free ourselves to outdo ourselves. We needed to unleash ourselves to be ourselves. So, what kind of Brampton would this Brampton be? It would be a whole new be. A better, brighter, fuller be. The new branding for Brampton economic development begins, unsurprisingly, perhaps, with a B. Literally, metaphorically, with a B. It seems almost anticlimactic. It's a simple visual device. Mere shapes that form a letter. But this device is the pivot on which our new brand identity is hung. B dot dot dot. B dot dot dot. What? I'm sure you're saying. Well, be more. Be unstoppable. Be extraordinary. Every line celebrates the diverse and variegated spirit and wealth of Brampton's human energy. It explodes into colorful and dynamic expression. So the new identity for Brampton economic development is a flexible, multifaceted, humanistic brand that is simultaneously verbal and visual, a tagline and a logo. In fact, it is a series of taglines, of vibrant taglines, lines that invite businesses and citizens to make the most of the opportunities that Brampton represents, and in doing so, to make the most of themselves. Each is a call to action, a personal and potential infused brand statement that helps to carve a distinctive, multidimensional presence for Brampton. The lines invite us: be extraordinary, be unstoppable, be more. The blue bee in every line in this series takes its color from Brampton's corporate Flower City logo, thus declaring its family graphic relationship at the very outset. Now, these are different brands with different duties. The Flower City corporate brand represents Brampton as a city in its entirety, whereas be more, be extraordinary, be unstoppable must represent Brampton's economic identity. Yet it has been designed to work together with a corporate brand when needed, pulling together as members of the same family often have to do. Now, our discipline requires us to scrutinize the ideas we present and recommend. The notion of be more, be unstoppable, be extraordinary is rich in both literal and intangible meaning. Literally, be ... The B could stand for Brampton. A Brampton that is more, in this particular example. A place that is more than the expected. The B could stand for the verb to be, that ultimate human state. It could stand for be a better, greater, fuller version of yourself. The B could stand for business. Business that expands, connects, grows, is creative, is opportunistic, looks for solutions, is filled with possibilities and ideas. Why do we like this identity? We like it and recommend it because it is an invitation to move to exist in, and to benefit from a Brampton that offers a plethora of choices, a liberating diversity of opportunity. The words themselves resonate at a deeper level. They convey raw energy. They are human, expressive, invitational. There's a sense of the imperative to them. There's a creative aspect to the way they are expressed, and the colorfulness of the letter forms. It is imaginative and celebratory. There is an implication that is always present of an open-ended, open-minded way of doing things, of doing business. A place where potential is unlocked, always expanding, always multifaceted, always inclusive, always diverse, always adaptable, always flexible, always connected. It's fresh, different, unique as a city economic brand, both in the GTA and internationally. Now, our discipline requires us to recognize and prepare for things like misuse and abuse and humor and criticism. It could be said that the B and the dots that follow it are ambiguous or unplanned, or it stands for the undefined or the unknowns. We're not worried about that. We just flag these and we prepare for them, because if we don't act quickly to define our own brand story, these examples show us how it could be defined for us, and we prepare against that. With a foundation that allows us to build on what is best in us, a clear objective and strategic approach, and a confident new identity, our brand must now begin to build equity from within, equipping and motivating the very people who represent and promote our economic brand first. Next, we must stimulate believer businesses in Brampton to become brand champions. People like you who are here, right here today. And finally, we must make the brand magnetic. We must attract business to Brampton from the province, across the country, and from abroad. Indeed, in our highly competitive global marketplace, it truly is Brampton's time to be more. Thank you.
Well done.